Welcome to the Wisdom Family Foundation Interprofessional Education Research Sea Grant Workshop. We're excited to assist with the preparation of your successful applications. This is part one of a six-part series. This series has 6 components. This video will address the first item, an overview of the Sea Grants. In other videos, we'll discuss alignment with funding goals. We'll take a deeper dive into the IEPA core competencies, and we'll talk about replication and sustainability. Then we'll go over the budget, and we'll discuss the application submission process. But let's go ahead and get started with the overview. We'll start with why. I'll read this for those that might be using smaller screens. The purpose of the Sea Grant is to develop new and innovative curricular and educational projects related to interprofessional education and practice in alignment with the University of Oklahoma's strategic plan. The goal is to engage faculty, staff, and students in developing high-quality, pilot-tested educational offerings that can be adopted for future interprofessional programming here at the University of Oklahoma. Applications are reviewed and processed by the OU Health Campus Interprofessional Educators and Practitioners Association, also known as the IEPA. As we start with why, we want to show our appreciation for Dr. Peggy Wisdom and the Wisdom Family Foundation for making this grant opportunity possible. Early in the history of interdisciplinary programs, Dr. Wisdom understood the importance of faculty grassroots movements in creating and maintaining collaboration on campus. We thank her and the foundation for their continued investment. Since 2019, we have awarded 19 different grant projects for over $70,000. Projects have ranged from research, mentorship, clinical practice, simulations, and we even have one now looking at AI. Some projects have remained small, while others have reached thousands, such as the Same Fame program that started back in 2019. Now let's get into the who, what, when, where, and how of the Sea Grants, starting with who. As we previously mentioned, the Sea Grants are funded by the Wisdom Family Foundation. The grant applications are reviewed by and scored by volunteers through the Interprofessional Educators and Practitioners Association. Operational support for the grant process is administered through OU Interdisciplinary Programs under the OU Health Campus Office of the Vice Provost for Academic Affairs and Faculty Development. The grants are awarded to members of the Interprofessional Educators and Practitioners Association. Membership is open to all faculty and staff and students of the University of Oklahoma, and a simple online form is required to join. To be eligible for a grant, an interdisciplinary team must apply. This must include 3 practitioners of different disciplines, not just 3 different specialties within the same discipline. So not just 3 different medical doctors or 3 different types of nurses, for example. For grant finance purposes, the PI must be an OU faculty member. That way we can transfer the funds. Grant eligibility requires that the grant project includes student learners as the recipients of the educational intervention, and the student learners must be from 2 or more different colleges. And participants can include our partners with OU Health. What is the Sea Grant? As many of us know, a Sea Grant is meant to be a small investment in a startup project as one-time funding. As such, the Wisdom Family Foundation Sea Grant is a one-time $4,000 grant. grant projects are for interprofessional education projects where student learners follow the international definition of IPE, which is to learn about, from, and with each other. Projects must be competency-driven and follow the National IEPA core competencies for interprofessional collaborative practice. Project proposals must also include an evaluation plan and dissemination of scholarly findings. When? The SEED grant application period currently opens twice a year. Since this video is being recorded in November 2025, we've provided a sample timeline for a fall application here on the screen. The application period begins at the start of each semester. Applications are due by the middle of the semester, and the IEPA scores applications using the online rubric after the application deadline. Award notifications are released by the beginning of the next semester, and funding is released after the notification. Grant projects can begin after the notification and continue for the following year. Formative and summative evaluations are requested, and you are reminded that you'll have to submit reimbursement requests by the end of your grant year. All grant awardees are invited to present their work during IPE week in April of the year following their project. This could be a virtual presentation to the campus or perhaps a poster presented during the IPE poster hall. And where? Very important. We have to remind everyone that our OU students are everywhere. We have campus locations throughout the state and beyond our borders through online programming. Your grant proposal can be for an interprofessional education activity in person at any one of our campuses, or offered virtually or even asynchronously for our online learners. We encourage you to think about how your project can reach the greatest number of OU student learners possible. And how do you apply? You can simply Google OU IPEC grants and it should take you right to our website. From there, you can download the Word or PDF format of the application, and when you're ready, you upload your completed application to the online submission portal in Qualtrics. It's just that easy. And because these are internal seed grants, you do not have to submit your project through ORA. However, if you are doing human subject research, your IRB protocol may need to be completed separate from this grant application. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We look forward to receiving your application.